But let's get into let's talk about the Super Bowl Sunday. Who do you have winning the Super Bowl?
I want to hear what you say first.
It's definitely a tough matchup because it's like I can't underestimate Drake May at all. You know what I'm saying? I can't underestimate that guy. But the Seahawks defense is crazy. Being real. Like even like against that game against the Broncos, even though Bo Nix wasn't playing, the score was 10-7. So it was like they kind of still had their defense right there. So I agree with that. So,
the thing about the Patriots, and I already touched on this point earlier, they're a great organization, great, front office. This is a great team that I think has been constructed, and they have a great mentality that I think is really the driving factor of what has brought them to the Super Bowl so far. I'm sorry. This matchup is hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby. Okay? This is the definition of that meme. All right? Because the Seahawks, their defense is on another level. Okay? And not to mention their offense. You have Jackson Smith-Njigba moving like 2021 Cooper Kupp. All right? That is I'm dead serious, and I stand on this when I say this. Jackson Smith-Njigba is, I would put him up in the likes of CD Lamb, probably above CD Lamb, all right?
Yeah.
And I would put him up there with Jay Jettis, all right? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the type of year he's had, and what he's shown off is so impressive, especially for a guy who, when he was being, scouted and drafted, he was only considered a slot guy to be paired with DK Metcalf. And what does Seattle do? They ship DK Metcalf off to Pittsburgh, and Jackson Smith-Njigba has a career year, and you know what I'm saying? I don't think this is going to be the last of his career years. I think we're going to see him in the top 1% of receivers for a while, and he is the X factor in this matchup. You could say anything you want about the Seattle defense. I'm sorry. I don't think there's a guy on that Patriots defense that can go ahead and match up against Jackson Smith-Njigba and cover him the way he's been hot recently.
I agree.
So if you want a score prediction, all right. I've been making this joke recently, but I feel like there's going to be some crazy coincidence that ends up with the Patriots being up 28-3 and the Seahawks make some miraculous comeback in overtime. That would be the funniest thing ever.
That would be the funniest thing.
However, my actual prediction of the score, I'm taking Seattle 23, I think New England is 17. That's my prediction. It's my prediction.
I mean, I'm like choosing the Seahawks because I feel like they have a great team too. I ain't gonna lie. They beat the Rams. They beat the mess out of the 49ers. Like they beat the dog mess out of them. But I feel like I would agree with you though. I feel like the Seahawks I feel like they're gonna be the favorites to hopefully win this one. You know what I'm saying? Drake May is a great quarterback. I don't know if he'll be able to, well, I don't know if I say, I don't know if he's going to be able to do this because, he had a monstrous season.
Yeah.
And he has so much time in his career to, get back to this point. But,
and the thing is, too, is like, for a player to make the Super Bowl in year 2, that's impressive.
Very impressive.
I know a lot of Super Bowl winning quarterbacks have done that, and that's because, of course, the technicalities with, if you have a rookie quarterback, he's on a shorter deal. A less expensive deal, so you can go ahead and afford to get more talent, which is what the Patriots did.
Yeah.
It still doesn't go ahead and dim the fact that he went through a full season. With new weapons, a new head coach in Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
Just because Mike Vrabel's a good new head coach doesn't mean that you're gonna have to not get acclimated to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
To go ahead and adjust and turn things around so quick, and go to the Super Bowl. Give him his flowers. You know what? I'm a Drake May lover. There you go.
Hey,
so
I don't blame you.
Now, my question for you, Dahani, is all right, let's say we're back to the start of the playoffs, right? And you could personally choose the Super Bowl matchup, knowing what you know now, though, about each team and how they played. Which teams, right, would you like to see in the Super Bowl?
What I like to see, that's a tough one. I ain't gonna lie. Honestly, a team who's been, killing before, definitely, I would like to see the Rams.
Yes.
The Rams
I
in
love the
here.
Rams.
I would love to see the Rams in here. You know what I'm saying? I know the Rams, it's tough losing like that
Yeah.
because they literally ran out of time. No, they caught that they were trying to get their offense set, and then they ran out of time trying to do that. So that definitely hurts. But I would love to see the Rams in there.
Yeah. You have
You know
an
what I'm
AFC team or no?
I don't know. That's a tough one. Honestly,
For me, it would have been Jacksonville. All right,
Jackson. I forgot about them.
I will never forget that game. All right, that was one of the when you talk about just pure football, men hitting each other, tackling each other, and just being full of brutality and physicality.
Yeah.
Watching that wild card game, mind you, it's only a wild card game. All right, it's not the AFC Championship, it's not the Super Bowl, it's not even the divisional round. This is the wild card game.
Yes.
And I said that the Bills honestly should have lost that match.
Yeah, they almost lost.
They almost lost it, and I would have been fine if they lost to Jacksonville because I think Jacksonville is a really good team.
I think
this iteration this year of that Jacksonville team, I'm telling you, if they can keep that up, I wouldn't want to face them. I wouldn't want to face them.
No, definitely. No, I definitely agree with that.
So, and I agree with your pick about the Rams. I would have loved to see a Jacksonville versus LA Rams Super Bowl. I think that would have been so good. I think that would have been just so physical too. I mean, both really good defenses, especially the Rams.
I would have to agree with you. I would love to see Jacksonville in there. What also would be cool because I know they're a young team too. The Bears would have been nice to see.
Yes.
Like coming back from that lead against Green Bay, that was crazy. I was like, they should have been cooked, bro.
I was in my dad's car and we were coming back from a Buffalo Sabres game. So for those of you guys who don't know a little bit about me, I'm an Anaheim Ducks fan. All right, so they came into town. I was gonna treat my pops. I bought them tickets and stuff, and we went to see the game. It was the same. It was the same night as Wild Card Weekend, where the Bears were facing the Packers. When we entered the game, it was pretty much over, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Green Bay. Everybody thought Green Bay was gonna win, and then when we came out, we figured it was literally the Bears coming back. I'm like, how is this happening? Caleb Williams is a magician.
He really is.
He is a dancer in that pocket. Okay, he knows how to make the right moves. And I know a lot of people criticize him because of his, his attitude and whatnot. If you watch this man play football, he is the real deal. He is the real deal.
He's the real deal.
He looks a little Mahomey in my eyes.
Mahomey.
A little Mahomey. I'm serious. You see the throws that he makes? How do he just has an elite platform. You know what I'm saying? To go ahead and, throw with your feet in the air. You know what I'm saying? That's stuff that Aaron Rodgers did.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he's almost like a hybrid of Rodgers and Mahomes, the way he's able to dance in the pocket and just sling it, And I'm not, I don't hate the Bears. I think, they're an okay franchise. I would have loved to see Caleb Williams in the Super Bowl going ahead and sling. I mean, and shout out to Roma Dunze. I'm a big fan of Roma Dunze. You know what I'm saying? Especially that, his career at Washington when they made that national championship run. All that. I think it was 2 years ago?
I believe so.
With Michael Penix and who'd they face? I think it was shoot. Oh my God, I can't. But I remember that national championship game. That was a really good national championship game.
That was definitely a good game.
But Roma Dunze is a dog, okay, and especially that he has a lot of other weapons there in the wide receiver room with him. I think that offense, that the future looks bright for Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And I think they can honestly contend for a title.
Definitely.
So,
I definitely agree with that.
That's a really good pull, Dahani. That's a really good pull.
Really good one. No, after seeing them, I was like, they might have a chance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, definitely a bad way to go out this year, but they're not a team anyone should forget about.
No. And I don't think anybody. And when you think about the NFC North, that's a very competitive division. Very competitive. You know what I'm saying? You have the Lions that you have to deal with. You have the Packers who are always good or always okay at some level. The Minnesota Vikings, they may be up 1 year, down 1 year. I don't personally like facing the Vikings. All right, they usually have good talent on the ball. I mean, especially when you have Justin Jefferson that you have to face. That's not easy. But I think the Bears are in a really good spot to at least be second in that division.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
Be in the wild card for the next couple of years.
Yeah. No, but if you were to ask me who would win the Super Bowl, I would probably. What was moving me is the defense of the Seahawks. So I'm probably go with them to win. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good pick. Yeah.
You don't. You definitely want to. You can't underestimate either of these teams. You know what I'm saying? Because they have strengths, they have weaknesses. So I feel like it's gonna be a close knit game, but I'm gonna say that the Seahawks are gonna pull through this.
I think that's a lot of people's picks. Now, like I said, just because we pick, you know what I'm saying, we say the Seahawks are going to win this. The script might say something different, guys. So, you don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe the Patriots go ahead and win another one.
Another one, maybe.
Another one.
It's been years since I won another one.
It's been years since the Jets won something.
Oh, my